I log cornhole. I log cornhole.
You do not log cornhole.
You can't log cornhole. There's no way that's on BGG.
I thought about
I
logging it.
call shenanigans on that one.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but a lot of times on these gaming websites, I have seen people talk about, hey, we're going camping. This is our game selection. Hey, we're at the pool. This is what we're going to play today. We're in Puerto Rico playing Puerto Rico outdoors. We're what have you, or the suggestions, hey, we are going to go camping. What should we take? What should we throw in the bag? And there's many different takes on this. I'm going to try to avoid giving all my takes, but until it's around to my turn. But what do you guys think? Is gaming outdoors something you do, something you don't do, something you recommend? What would you recommend? Wherever you want to go with this topic, it's kind of wide open. I don't think we'll revisit it again, but we'll start with Chris over here. Old man Chris, do you play any old man games outdoors? What do you do?
Oh man, I mean, as an old man and taking care of all my knickknacks, it's hard for me to do because I'm worried my stuff's going to get broken outside. So that certainly is something to consider. But so that when you said the game by the pool, I about had a stroke. I was just like, no, that's a no. I mean, maybe I'll play like a Hive or something. That has like tiles that are indestructible or something. But like other than that, I ain't playing at the pool. I feel like it's like a high risk, high reward situation. Like if you can execute the outdoor game, I don't think there's probably a better way to play, honestly. You got nature going on and, feel cool breeze and everything going great. Sure. But like, it's high risk, high reward. But I do like the idea of, having a couple, talking about specific camping, like I think those are some good situations. I think for those though, you're looking more for card games, stuff like that, that are easy to set up, tear down, for a lot of reasons. And so, I mean, again, high risk, high reward, I think it's the best way to describe it. I'm for it, but it just, you got to find that right game, got to find the right situation. So it's the peak, but it's tough to do. What do you got, Andy?
Well, Chris, thanks for saying that. I kind of agree with you that it is the idea of playing outdoors sounds wonderful. It sounds lovely, right? I mean, especially if nice weather, nice gentle breeze, but that gentle breeze could quickly take everything away. And that's the problem with card games even, I've tried playing some card games outside and putting games on tables, and especially, I guess maybe it's just because of the part of the country we're in too, where it can be super windy sometimes. It's just like, it just doesn't work. There are games that have worked for me though. So one of them, and now this might be controversial because I know you guys have very strong opinions about what you can and cannot count as a logged game. But I have logged this game, so deal with it. The game is, now I can't think of the name of it. It's that lawn game. It's the Viking lawn game.
Coop.
Coop.
Yeah.
Cornhole.
I don't know if we're pronouncing that right, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, right. And so I've logged that game. I consider that a game that I've played outside and I really enjoy. You don't think that's John obviously has given me a dirty look for that because that's just what he does. It's a game. It's a board. It's made of wood.
Yeah.
It's made of wood.
Wow.
Anyway, but I will say I went on a river trip a year ago, and I had to take some games with me because I just had to. And I was taking it with some friends that had not played much before, and I was trying to get them into the hobby. And this was kind of a rustic river trip, right? We went on a raft and took everything with us, so I had to package it up real small. I took this little plastic box that was waterproof, and I put 3 games in there. I took all the components of these 3 games. They were King Domino, which worked out really well. Now, it obviously wasn't waterproof, but once I got it out, the cardboard pieces didn't fly around because they're a little bit heavier, and so that worked out really well. That was a fun game to play. I also brought No Thanks, which is a card game, but it's a simple little card game that's just a blast, and you can get anybody to play No Thanks. And the other one that I took was Las Vegas, and Las Vegas is a great game for outside. I mean, there are some cards, but I mean, mostly it's just a dice game, and you can play that on a table, and it's not a big deal, no problem. And again, the nice thing about those games, they're all fairly inexpensive games, so if something were to go wrong with the parts, well, you're not out a ton of money. It's not like you're taking some huge game with a bunch of miniatures outside. So there you go. Those are my thoughts. Daniel.
All right. Well, gaming outside. My first question is, why? Why do you want to game outside? board gaming is innately an indoor activity. You don't go outside and go, hey, you want to play an Xbox 360 in the middle of a campfire? No, you're outside. Enjoy being outside. Enjoy those activities. Also, you have the conditions of nature that just make almost any game unplayable. Most people say, I'm actually proud of Andy for thinking of some really unique games to take on his camping trip, because normally what we hear is, oh, just play Hive. It's like, yeah, because all it is little tiles, and it's like, you're not only are you not enjoying being outside and enjoying what God has created, you are literally playing like the leftover games, the games you would never play any other time. So you're like, yeah, I want to get my friends into the hobby. I'm going to show them this really cool game that I play, well, with my, 8-year-old son, because this is all that I'm willing to risk. So why are we always looking for ways to play games? Just enjoy the moment. Enjoy what is happening. Keep your games at home and play them when you get home. And when you're outside, go for a swim and don't leave no thanks in your pocket.
Daniel, the beauty about board games is that you can enjoy the moment with board games. That's what makes a good board game. It's a social, interactive experience. It is fun. I mean, don't say they're mutually exclusive. You're talking about playing an Xbox 360? That has nothing to do with this conversation.
It does.
It has everything.
No, it
it's
doesn't.
an indoor activity you're doing outside. That has everything to do with this. Board games are indoors. They're meant for indoors. Period. Done. I win. Thank you.
John,
All right, that sends it back to me, and I'm gonna be like Chris here. This is story time with Jungle Jack.
That Reiner
Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story about my dad, who was a World War II veteran, and he spent a winter outside in Germany, and swore to himself, if I ever get back alive, I will never spend another night outdoors as long as I live. And he was true to that. We were not a camping family. We were not an outdoors family. To me, outdoors is for sports. It's for going to sporting events. And that's about it. You go outside to play tennis. You go outside to play golf. You go outside to play softball. You don't go outside to play a board game. And the limited times that I've had where I've played games outside, it's been when I went on some cheesy father-son camping thing with my son, and it's this little park that's next to the city pool. And so you stayed in your tent, you walked around downtown, then you came back to your campsite and you swam in the pool. And then when it got really late, we went underneath the camp, what do you call it? The shelter where they have all the tables. So you had a shelter with tables. And we played the one game that I bought just to play there, and that was Battleship the card game, because I couldn't care less what happens to Battleship the card game. And so if anybody else wanted to play it, take it. Go ahead. We're done with it. Return it if you want to. Doesn't really matter. It was $2 at Target. Have fun with it. And so that's real. To me, my advice is bring a game. You don't care if you lose. Bring a game. You don't care if it gets destroyed. But for the most part, I agree with Daniel. Do something else outside. You're outside for a reason. Do something else. Play cornhole or whatever it is that Andy was trying to remember. But you don't have to log it because it's not.
I log cornhole.
You do not log cornhole.
You can't log cornhole. There's no way that's on BGG.
I thought about logging
I
it.
call shenanigans on that one.
Gosh. Okay, go log badminton like Andy does and play that outside.
So wait a minute. One more thing. There are a couple games I forgot that play really well outside and are very social. So playing a game like Time's Up around a campfire would be amazing. Playing a game, a secret Hitler or a hidden role game. You played Mafia or Werewolves around. You log werewolves, don't you? That's a board game. It's in the category anyway. You can play that outside.
Yeah, no.
I could see a social deduction game.
Yeah, I'll give you Time's
see
Up
that.
and Werewolf or something. Those are okay.
Or Mafia de Cuba.
No.
Hey!
Yes.